You ever notice how voting in Texas feels like doing taxes while someone reads the dictionary to you? You walk into that booth, confident, coffee in hand, thinking, how bad could it be? It's just one ballot. Then you open it, and suddenly you're face to face with 17 propositions that sound like rejected SAT questions. Shall the state of Texas authorize a dedicated permanent fund for infrastructure adjacent educational alignment strategies? I mean, sure, probably. The ballot's like a Buc-ee's, massive, confusing, full of snacks you didn't ask for, but now you're somehow committed to buying. So today, before we all stand in line and cast our vote, I'm breaking them all down for you. That way, you don't hold up the line like you do at Starbucks trying to figure out what a venti means. So here are all 17 props, because if Texas is going to make me pick between imaginary taxes and cows again, we're damn well going to laugh about it. Prop 1, Fixing Texas Tech Schools, so your AC guy doesn't quit. Authored by Senator Brian Birdwell, Republican, who looks like he's 30 years late for his high school graduation photo, and sponsored by Representative Stan Lambert, Republican. Picture this. It's August. Your AC dies. You call every repair guy in the county, and they all say, yeah, I can be there next Thursday of next week. That's not laziness. That's a shortage of skilled workers. Prop 1 says, maybe let's fix that before people start moving into HEB's freezer section. It creates 2 funds for Texas state technical colleges, one for new buildings and gear, and one to modernize programs so students learn stuff people actually hire them for. Pros, predictable money for trade programs, better trained workers in small towns that don't collapse when one electrician retires. Cons, locks up funds permanently because Texas loves commitment issues except when it's about education. So if you want fewer out-of-order signs and more people who know what a torque wrench does, you vote yes. And if you think YouTube tutorials are a solid replacement for an HVAC certification, you vote no. Prop 2, the imaginary tax nobody pays. Authored by Senator Charles Perry, Republican. Sponsored by Representative Giovanni Capriglione, Republican, a man who looks like he just farted and is trying not to move. This one bans a state capital gains tax. Fun fact, Texas doesn't have one, never has. It's like passing a law to outlaw dragons. Supporters say it keeps investors safe from future evil tax monsters. Opponents say it's constitutional clutter, solving a problem that doesn't exist. Pros, gives investors certainty and makes Texas look like it has a business plan. Cons, removes flexibility forever and adds another pointless paragraph to an already bloated constitution. So if you wake up sweating about phantom taxes haunting your stock portfolio, vote yes. And if you prefer your constitution to read less like fan fiction, vote no. Prop 3, No Bail Blues. Authored by Senator Joan Huffman, Republican, seen here waving the waiter away because she's not done with her salad, and sponsored by Representative Phil Smithy, Republican. This one lets judges deny bail to people accused of serious felonies if they think the person's a danger or a flight risk. Sounds good until you remember dangerous can sometimes mean looked grumpy in court. It's aimed at repeat offenders, the Out Friday, Crime Saturday crowd. But it also risks punishing poor folks who can't post bail for something minor. Pros, keeps genuinely dangerous offenders off the street and gives judges more discretion for high-risk cases. Cons, overcrowded jails, possible abuse of power, and poor defendants could get stuck behind bars for being broke, not bad. So if you want tougher pretrial rules and less repeat crime, vote yes. And if you think innocent until proven guilty shouldn't depend on your wallet or your caffeine intake, vote no. Prop 4, What Are You Waiting For? Authored by Representative Cody Harris, Republican. Seen here about to give the lamest cribs walkthrough, and sponsored by Senator Charles Perry, Republican. Every year, Texas acts shocked when it stops raining, like, oh my god, drought again? Who could have seen this coming? Prop 4 says, let's plan for that. It creates a permanent Texas water fund, money for reservoirs, pipes, desalination, and maybe teaching people not to water their lawns at 3 p.m. in July. Pros, long-term planning and water security, fewer boil notices and panic buying bottled water, and helps rural areas and growing cities stay hydrated. Cons, locks down funds lawmakers can't reallocate, and the permanent part makes some nervous, as does losing their chances of winning Lawn of the Year. So if you like turning on your tap and not hearing a hiss or seeing your boat ramp on the ground, vote yes. And if you think hydration is socialism, vote no. Prop 5, Moo-la for the Feed Store, authored by Representative Cody Harris, Republican, and sponsored by Senator Robert Nichols, Republican, seen cosplaying as corporate Santa Claus. No joke, this one's about cow food. It removes property taxes on animal feed held for sale. Rural stores love it. City people won't notice until ribeyes hit $50 a pound. Pros: helps small ag businesses stay alive, keeps livestock feed affordable, and supports rural economies and barbecue. Cons: minor revenue loss for local governments, and it could encourage more niche exemptions later, like no tax on chicken hats or something equally Texan. So if you believe in protecting feed stores, farmers, and the sanctity of barbecue, vote yes. And if you're excited for lab-grown brisket and want to meet your new best friend, Synthetic Bessie, vote no. Prop 6, Wall Street Welcome Matt, authored by Representative Morgan Meyer, Republican, and sponsored by Senator Tan Parker, Republican, and no. Tan doesn't stand for Tanner, it's short for Nathaniel, because apparently we've all been pronouncing it wrong. Prop 6 bans any future taxes on stock trades, those micro fees some states use to raise money from Wall Street. Supporters say it tells investors Texas is open for business. Critics say it's like throwing away your screwdriver because you might accidentally fix something. Pros: makes Texas more attractive to big financial firms and signals a stable, pro-business tax climate. Cons: handcuffs future legislatures, eliminates a potential revenue source that could fund schools or infrastructure, and basically gives Wall Street free rent in Texas. So if you think Goldman Sachs needs a hug and you want to see a hedge fund manager buy your neighbor's lake house, vote yes. And if you'd rather keep one tool in the box in case oil prices tank again, vote no. Prop 7, for love and country. Authored by Representative Chris Turner, Democrat, a man who looks like Mr. Clean if he joined the PTA, and sponsored by Senator Brian Hughes, Republican. Finally, something wholesome. Prop 7 gives surviving spouses of veterans who die from service-connected causes a property tax exemption. Translation: if your partner literally gave their life for the country, you shouldn't get taxed out of your home. Pros: real financial relief for widows and widowers, an actual thank you that doesn't expire in 30 days, and everyone agrees it's the right thing, which in Texas politics is rarer than shade in August. Cons: cuts a sliver of property tax revenue from schools and counties, and the paperwork will still make someone cry. So, if you think gratitude shouldn't come with a bill, vote yes. And if your soul left the chat back when we mentioned losing to Gary's AstroTurf lawn, vote no. But also maybe talk to someone. Prop 8, the death tax that doesn't exist. Authored by Representative Charlie Guerin, Republican, whose name you will mispronounce 3 different ways before you're confident, and sponsored by Senator Charles Perry, Republican. Another imaginary villain. Texas doesn't have an estate or inheritance tax, but Prop 8 wants to make sure we never ever do. It's like duct taping your fridge shut because you might someday eat cake, which, to be fair, I have absolutely done at 2 a.m. Pros: guarantees the dead rest, tax-free, and looks great on an I hate taxes bumper sticker. Cons: solves nothing currently happening, clutters the Constitution with ghost stories, and removes a future tool for revenue if Texas ever needs it. So, if you think the afterlife deserves a tax break, vote yes. And if you'd like lawmakers to stop exercising imaginary demons while ignoring real problems, vote no. Prop 9, Business Write-Off, Texas Edition, authored by Representative Morgan Meyer, Republican, and sponsored by Senator Paul Bettencourt, Republican, whose last name sounds like something you do while waiting to see the judge the morning after a DUI. This one lets the legislature reduce property taxes on income-producing equipment, the heavy machines that make factories hum. Good for small businesses, fine for medium ones, and pure dessert for corporations if nobody's watching. Pros: boosts manufacturing and keeps production local, helps small operations upgrade outdated gear, and signals Texas is business friendly. Cons: big players will eat most of the savings, schools may lose funding unless the state coughs it up, and yet another carve-out that makes property tax code read like IKEA instructions in Klingon. So, if you own a bakery, machine shop, or any dream powered by something louder than a laptop, vote yes. And if you're tired of billion-dollar brands hiding behind the phrase mom and pop, vote no. Prop 10, don't tax my ashes. Authored by Senator Paul Bettencourt, Republican, and sponsored by Representative Cole Hefner, Republican. And no, he's not related to Hugh, though he does look like he owns a G-Wagon. Prop 10 says if your house burns down, you don't pay property tax on the ashes. Yes, somehow that wasn't already the rule. Because compassion in Texas occasionally needs to be legislated between brisket cook-offs. Pros: immediate relief for disaster victims, keeps counties from taxing literal rubble, and unites everyone except insurance adjusters. Cons: tiny fiscal impact but requires local governments to recalculate values mid-year. Also raises the question, why did we need a law for this? So, if you think tragedy shouldn't come with a tax bill, vote yes. And if you hate puppies, Christmas, and human decency, vote no. Prop 11, Nana's Tax Cut, authored by Senator Paul Bettencourt, Republican, and sponsored by Representative Morgan Meyer, Republican, who seem to be both trying to get back on their Nanas' good graces. This raises the property tax exemption for seniors and disabled Texans from $10,000 to $60,000. If you know anyone retired, you know this matters, especially if you ever plan to inherit anything besides a porcelain owl collection. That exemption covers groceries, meds, maybe even one glorious AC tune-up. Pros: big relief for seniors on fixed incomes, keeps grandma in her home instead of your guest room, and injects cash back into local economies, mostly Walgreens. Cons: cuts school district funding unless Austin reimburses them. And Austin says, trust us. So if you love your Gigi and Grandpa more than spreadsheets and think they've paid enough into this world, vote yes. And if you're the accountant who told them bingo was a sound investment strategy, vote no. Prop 12, Who Judges the Judges? Authored by Senator Joan Huffman, Republican, and sponsored by Representative Jeff Leach, Republican, whose jawline could file its own ethics complaint. Prop 12 gives the Judicial Conduct Commission sharper teeth to bite misbehaving judges, because Your Honor shouldn't mean Your Highness. Pros: more oversight, more accountability, restores public trust after some creative rulings, and finally gives Texas its own version of Judge Watch. Cons: could be weaponized politically, and judges will whine about judicial independence between rounds of golf. So, if you'd prefer your judges not also appear on cops, vote yes. And if you think oversight ruins the mystery, like finding out Santa's unionized, vote no. Prop 13, The Homestead Glow-Up, authored by Senator Paul Bettencourt, Republican, a man who seems to be trying to author almost as many props as Nick Cage stars in movies, and sponsored by Representative Morgan Meyer, Republican. This one raises the main school district homestead exemption from $100,000 to $140,000. That's a little more breathing room between you and the appraisal district trying to charge you rent on your own house. Pros: immediate property tax relief for homeowners. More money left for tacos, not taxes, and keeps Texans from rage Googling move to Oklahoma. Cons: schools lose revenue unless the legislature fills the gap. Trust us, we'll backfill it. Famous last words in Austin, and it doesn't help renters who now glare at homeowners like villains in a soap opera. So, if you like keeping your house and your sanity, vote yes. And if you think education funding Jenga sounds fun, vote no. Prop 14, Fighting Forgetting, authored by Senator Joan Huffman, Republican, and sponsored by Representative Tom Craddock, Republican. A man so wholesome looking, but his eyes look like they're crying from the sunken place. This creates a $3 billion fund for dementia and Alzheimer's research. Basically, the Cancer Institute's brainy cousin. Think of it as Texas deciding to fund science instead of just naming highways after it. Pros: supports life-saving research and clinical trials, attracts medical talent to Texas, and is good news for literally every family with a grandparent. Cons: $3 billion is a lot of money, and someone will complain about it. And it requires tight oversight so it doesn't turn into a science fair slush fund. If you believe funding cures beats funding campaign ads, vote yes. If you already forgot what we're talking about, vote no. And ironically, prove the need for this bill. Prop 15, Parents Know Best, usually, authored by Senator Brian Hughes, Republican. Yes, I know, he both looks like the guy who would author this alone and hang it on the refrigerator so his kids could see it. This adds, parents are the primary decision makers for their children to the Constitution, which they already are. This is like writing Texans like barbecue into law. We know, we can smell it from the airport. Pros: symbolic support for parental rights and makes some parents feel seen in the school policy debate. Cons: could confuse courts when health and education decisions collide, and it feels less like law and more like Facebook arguing with itself. So, if you think the PTA should run the Supreme Court, vote yes. And if you think parental love doesn't need a constitutional booster seat, vote no. Prop 16, Citizens Only, Still. Authored by Senator Brian Birdwell, Republican, and sponsored by Representative Candy Noble, Republican, who both look like they have never been asked, where were they born? This one declares that only U.S. citizens can vote in Texas elections. And honestly, this isn't new. That's already the law. It's like printing "No aliens allowed" on a spaceship that never left Houston. Pros: reaffirms existing law for folks who sleep better, seeing it in all caps, and it's a nice soundbite for campaign ads. Cons: solves a problem that doesn't exist, clutters the Constitution with performative redundancy, and distracts from actual issues like education, infrastructure, and why I-35 is never finished. So, if you love double-checking what's already true, vote yes. And if you think we could spend 5 minutes on a real problem, vote no. Prop 17, Borderlines and Tax Breaks, authored by Representative Ryan Glenn, Republican, and sponsored by Senator Mays Middleton, Republican, who gives off serious Ben Wyatt vibes. Allows property owners near the border to get tax breaks for security infrastructure, fences, cameras, motion sensors, and probably one guy named Gary with binoculars. Because nothing says public safety like a Ring doorbell pointed at Mexico. Pros: helps border communities pay for security projects and gives locals a say in how protection money is spent. Cons: vague criteria could mean anything from legit infrastructure to laser tripwires on cow fences. Tax breaks reduce local revenue for schools and services, and feels more like political theater than policy. So, if you think Ring doorbells can stop international incidents, vote yes. And if you'd rather fund roads than mood lighting for barbed wire, vote no. And that, my friends, is the Texas ballot. 17 questions, 1 headache, and a lifetime supply of what-ifs. I won't tell you which one you should vote for, but I will say you'd better vote. Because here's the thing about Texas. We love freedom, but we also love functioning air conditioning and roads that don't eat pickup trucks. We talk big about independence, but deep down, we just want our grandparents cool, our cows fed, and our water wet. So vote, y'all. Vote like your AC, your water pressure, and your grandma's property tax bill depend on it, because they probably do. Then go grab some tacos, pat yourself on the back, and tell your friends you made democracy funny for once. That's the real Texas miracle.